Hi, I'm Nave here with the first week of Season 6 of the VDT Trainer School Draft League. This is the first draft league that I ever entered, and I won it, and it's what inspired me to make these videos in the first place. I made so many fucked up notes for every game in VTSDL, and I want to share these somehow. So I made the videos, but none of the notes I made for any of those leagues were as comprehensive because the way they did their tiering often ended up with like super top-heavy drafts that weren't particularly fun to build for. But now I'm back to having like 4 B tier 7, and it feels good to be back. I wanted to put a little bit higher effort into everything. I'm a lot more engaged in this community and with everything else, and to show that, the first recording I did of reading this whole like script that took me like an hour to write was my showdown zoom was wrong, so you didn't get to see anything. So now I'm doing it again, but I'm going to do an overview of my full draft. I don't want to go into too much detail because I feel the chance one of my opponents will watch this and notice something is like 10% higher than it normally is. So the draft is Reg 8, but with 2 twists. First is that everyone only gets 1 S tier as opposed to the usual 2 for these like tier drafts with any points, which ideally lowers the power level and prevents a lot of strong 2-mon cores from auto-winning the playoffs, like by spam, Mousy, some weather stuff, but you can play Dozo for whatever reason, so forgot about that one. But like I want to use my mid tiers, so I love that, no real issues there. And second, that we're playing with a shared pool of 20 players, so the draft had a lot of toe stepping and snipes going on, but not me. I stayed relatively unsniped. I mean, I got all of my A tiers tended to be sniped, but like my B tiers and C tiers were all mostly free. And then, like, they didn't end up ultimately messing with my plan with much since I didn't build around A tiers very strongly. But I was first pick at the draft because I won the last one. I got first dibs and I got Como. I love Como. I love its set versatility, and I was really uncomfortable with a lot of my S or A tiers, whatever is the highest, in previous draft because I felt like they weren't flexible enough, like Rillaboom and Regispiel and CPDL, because Weezing and Toadscruel and Golden Rod Battle Nexus, and to some extent Landorus, Therian, and Basculin and PSDL, but that was super strong, and I very convincingly won that, so I have less room to complain. And like, on top of being just a mon I love in the first place, I'm just hoping I can have a lot of fun with the sets that'll fulfill my set versatility need. I don't even feel like I missed out on much by not drafting some of the higher relative power. Como is a weaker S tier. It was even like originally tiered A, and I always had the intent of drafting Como round 1. I still suggested it be raised to S tier anyway. But like, I think the only thing the must pick first power level here is like Goldengo or Dondozo. Goldengo, who I feel is super boring set-wise, so I don't want to draw it, even though it's amazing physical balls draft. And Dondozo, who I'm ethically opposed to drafting. There are like some other super strong picks. I feel the like Ursalunas and Kingambits are probably 3 to 5, but their speed-induced weaknesses are difficult to overcome, and if you want to make the best use of their speeds, specifically, you either have to run Tailwind, or like run or Trick Room, and both are kind of uncomfortable for their own reason. And you can make a lot of strong weather teams. Politoed and Ninetales are both A, which I also think is a mistake, but no one drafted Sun, and like, while Politoed was drafted, they didn't end up getting a S tier that would combo with it because Palafin and Arcalon both got taken because like 5 people are drafting Rain here. So that was nice. But like, the real problem with drafting Como is like, finding specific supports for it is pretty hard. At least for my playstyle. Like, Sand and Screens both work very well with it, but I refuse to play Weather and I don't want to play Screens. Even though, like, on paper, I think they're super strong, I don't like that they can be upended with 1 move, and I don't want to prep against that 1 move every time. Everything has Brick Break, every fucking Pokemon can learn Sunny Day or Rain Dance. But it's hard to make a good type core with Dragon and Fighting just to do, like, a balance thing, because, like, what helps Como beats its type weaknesses can't really be helped in return by it. Like, it can hit steals for Ice and Rock types, and like that can help with Como's flying and ice weaknesses, but like, there aren't that many good offensive any of those types I just said. Either on put on your own team or as an opponent, or for your opponent, so like, plan was to pick up the most useful generalist tools I could and hope that they'll carry me to playoffs. So my first picks were to cover Como's big fairy weaknesses, because that's still important. I'm gonna have to worry about Terrablast Fairy every week. Tinkaton is the premier fake outer for draft. Great typing, great tools, doesn't have to invest much in attack to be supported with damage, which is in very high demand. And Magmortar is follow me redirection and it resists Fairy. I do think Magmortar is better than Magmar. Essentially always I pick Magmortar in draft twice before. And like the high special attack is very good. The item versatility is much more valuable than the Eviolite bulk, and the loss in bulk can be mitigated with just a Citrus Berry, because since you're dealing with specific threats, you EV for every week, and you don't have to make a team that can beat everything else in the meta. But I want to use Magmar. I want to see if I'm wrong. I want to see maybe Magmar does feel better. And I don't know. I'll figure it out. So after I got Fake Out, I went for Follow Me and Intimidate. Noivern, having such a great speed tier 123 with Frisk, makes it probably the best non-prankster Tailwinder that you can draft, mostly considering when it's tiered. Ribombee is probably better in a vacuum. Salamence definitely is. And seeing it perform super well in other drafts made me want to pick it up, especially because those were at a higher power level. Noivern makes me double up on 4x weaknesses. I have a 4x Fire and Ice weakness and a second Ice weakness. Doesn't feel good, but I'm just not worried about Ice types. Then I got Overquill with the primary reason of saving it from the 5 or so Dragon team so it can work in Honest Life as an Intimidator, and the secondary reason of I want to use every Hisuian Pokemon in either the real game or draft before the end of the generation, and I'll only have Cleaver and Avalugg left after this, and I might even count Avalugg off, because I helped my friend who drafted it in the first season of VTSDL. But I'm a lot less happy with this pick than I thought I'd be. It's probably still more happy than my original pick before I changed my mind. I had another Intimidator in mind and switched at the last minute. Overquill's got a lot of halfway good traits, both for me specifically and in general. It's a dark that doesn't weak the Fairy, which is very valuable, but it doesn't have Sucker or Knock. For me specifically, it's a poison that I can hit fairies with, but it's not it's a poison I can hit fairy with, but because it's still weak to ground, it makes 3 of my 4 B tiers ground weak very bad. It's got a lot of setup and toxic stall potential, but that's anti-synergy with the Intimidate playstyle, and it has relatively unimpressive bulk and speed to do anything with its setup anyway. But the real deal breaker to me is it doesn't have any particularly unique strengths as an Intimidator. It doesn't have U-turn or Fake Out, it can't really play offensively like Tauros or Crocodile can. It doesn't have any particularly unique tools like Alberta's Trick Room or Staraptor's Final Gambit. It does have Toxic and Barbarage, but I think that's a little slower in any team style that is not always worth running, whereas I think Staraptor and U-turn Intimidator is always worth running. This is because its strengths is that it can be a rain counter or a rain sweeper, but I'm not really going to be doing that, so if I ever remodel my team, Overquill will likely be the first to go. But at this point I'm getting nervous about having 3 ground, so I'm uh-oh, and I have no way to hit ground either. So I decided to pick up another setup with sweeping option, and it's a Wide Guarder, and as a way to hit ground in Frostmoss. I always wanted to use her. Both abilities are super interesting, and it seems easy to abuse Terra with her. But I still have that weakness to ground. So I decided to go for a Bolt Beam combo in Magneton. The reason I did this was since Magneton is sturdy. It doesn't really matter that it's another ground weight, because if you're sturdy, it really only matters what your offensive typing is. And if there's no threat of a ground move, I will have another Fairy Resist and a Steel type, which is great. I also like that Magneton is one of the few, maybe even the only middle stage evolution to be situationally better than the evolution without the use of Eviolite. The situations where Murkrow is better than Honchkrow with all of them, so that doesn't count, and Vigoroth sucks. But at this point, it was about time to pick my A tiers. All the good ones got scooped up already, and I was up to 5.66 snipes at this point, after mostly getting to do whatever I want in every pick before this one. Cleaver and Meowstick were the kind of snipe because I was thinking about them but thought they wouldn't fit. Someone else got the Meowstick combo I was going to do with Meowstick and Espeon Manual Psychic Terrain if you got that idea from me. But I said it, you're welcome. And then everything I got real sniped on were in rough order: Milotic, Gastrodon, Swampert, Superior, Poltergeist. And like I was mostly trying to find ways to fill out a Firewater Grass core, but because like all of the good grass types left were dragons, and like all of the good waters were being monopolized by the rain teams. Like Gastrodon was the water I really wanted, and Serperior was the grass I really wanted. Serperior was on my list for a while, and I like had an aha moment and realized Gastrodon would be super good for my team, just for a lot of reasons. And because I would have changed the picks I got next. And then like I wasn't entirely sure what to do when Serperior got sniped from me one pick before I could. So I got an anonymous tip from someone who I don't know if they want to be named or not. They probably do, that Bronzong and Snorlax are a pretty good pair. This already aligns, this aligned with the thought, I thought about this drop before, that Trick Room would be really strong. Everything in the Slowpoke line except Slowpoke itself got drafted, just because it's so strong here, and they're all under tiered and should be A. But what they suggested was, I got off track, was that I should draft Bronzong and Snorlax. They're a pretty good pair. They gave me reasons I thought they were convincing, and I picked them. It aligned with my idea that Trick Room was really good already, and I just went for it. I didn't give it too much thought, and I'll find out later I thought about it a little bit more, but the core idea was strong enough, and I didn't get sniped, so it all worked out in the end. And then, like, lastly, I just adjusted for my ground weaknesses, was Braviary and Haunter. I always think Braviary is Intimidate for some reason when it has anti-Intimidate, but I needed strong physical damage, and 123 attack is good enough for me. And Haunter also has Levitate. A lot of fun utility moves, and it doesn't really compete with Magmar for Eviolite, since it's probably better off as like sashed offensive. Then in free agency I traded Bronzong for Rangaroo. Even though they're both normal types, they don't share weaknesses, and put a lot do utility move. I thought it did. It really only has Metal Sound and Gravity, neither of which are useful at its speed tier. And like offensively I already have Combat Press, I don't need a second one. But a Rangaroo's utility moves out the gills, Taunt, Instruct, or some other shit. Just the perfect fit. Belly Bolt gets rid of my not actually a ground weakness Cope in exchange for being a special sweeper under Trick Ring. Probably under tier 2, just like every other C tier I picked, but it has very serviceable ability to let it function. But a Trick Room with Electromorphosis, really strong too. And I just remembered this now, but I got the snipe before wasn't Milotic. I care about Milotic. It was Lurantis. I wanted Lurantis to be my special sweeper and then keep my, but then someone took Lurantis. But I like Belly Bolt more than Lurantis, I think, so I should be fine. But my type chart and some overall team weaknesses, I don't want to name all of them. I'll name 2. One is the ground weaknesses. You already know that. Okay, I forgot the second one. Uh-oh. I didn't write it down. I said it in the previous recording and then I forgot it. Well, I have 3 that I have 3, technically 4. You can think of the 4th one that I don't even remember, then congratulations. But I don't know, I don't want them to be exploited, but I recognize them. I recognize them. If you guess them, you can guess. But like, I don't know, I like this. I think I've covered for my fairy weakness as well. I think Rock is a fake weakness and Dragon is a fake weakness, so I don't need to worry about them. Everything else looks pretty good, again, besides ground. So, I don't know, I'm ready. I'm ready. But like, Jesus, I wanted to do a quick overview of my team so I could prep more for Baltimore. I need to get my team. I spent an hour doing this and then another 20 minutes because I fucked up the first recording, so I don't know, I'm just so cooked. But now I have to do my team review, and I haven't even written a script for that. Uh-oh, cut to 20 minutes later. So my first matchup is a pretty hard one. It might even be my hardest of the league, just skimming through. It's like not the first thing really not the thing I want to deal with on regional prep week, but against my better judgment, I've balled out. I've made a team I like, I've spent a good bit of time on this, and like, I'm happy with it. It feels good. I don't really think I've had a team that I've really liked all of the techs and sets on in a while. So Sableye is a huge problem for me. Those Fake Out and Taunt, Encore, Wisp all in one slot makes the opening lead very difficult, and I think the opening lead is always the most important part of a draft game. And like some tech move like Quash, Look screens all pose big difficulties for the TR strategy I want to run with. And because my A tiers are Rangaroo and Snorlax, you bring anti-TR stuff. But like lead Basket Legion because Last Specs isn't good into my 2 normal types. And like Scizor and his Swing Bravery are all tough for me to handle. Basket Legion blows up my lead. If it does blow up my lead and give me a free switch, that's good if I'm doing TR. Scizor's setup is kind of iffy because it means that Scizor doesn't have to... Like, if Scizor sets up, it's not attacking Magmar, and it makes my resulting turn, if I do set up TR, a little difficult. And Swing Bravery is both strong and has Whirlwind. But, like, when their, like, non-Tech Room speed control is up, and they have, like, Tailwind, maybe if they set up Tailwind, that's also kind of difficult, but, like, they have Vivillon and Inteleon to have unique ways of disrupting my Trick Room setup. Running Balls, Belly Bolt with Terra, and Girafarig has Imprison Trick Room, which doesn't help me either. A lot of odd techs that could go against my favor, and figuring out game one is always the most important thing. I will ideally be leading Trick Room just because of the sets on one of my guys. Look, my game plan is to have a fast mode and a slow mode. It really just means the Trick Room mode and the not Trick Room mode. But the not Trick Room mode centers on Como. You should be able to 2-hit KO everything that isn't Scizor with Lord Flinging Scales, and I have Terra Ghost, so I can't be faked out. It has Aura Spear for Peridot and Flamethrower for Scizor, and it has just enough speed to outspeed his Swing Bravery always. It can fall apart kind of easily with Thunderwave speed control or screens, but I don't think T-Wave looks good to me at first glance, and beating screens is TR's job. That's what I call the Trick Room. The centerpiece of the Trick Room mode is Belly Bolt. Basically, it'll get Weakness Polity bulldozed by Oranguru, who is 1 point slower than it, to get a effective +3 Parabolic Charge boost, soak up any damage that could happen even with Squash. It's EV to live like a +2 Bug Bite in most cases. If it's 25, 252 plus Adamant, it's like a roll that's almost in my favor, and if it's not that, then I should live. And like, I don't even care that this Oranguru set here doesn't even have telepathy. It has a focus, because like the same bulk that lets this Oranguru live a Snipe Shot, specs in range from Inteleon, should let it live a Parabolic Charge. And like having Terra Grass, which is a counterplay for Sleep Powder, wouldn't hurt it either. The third move slot on Oranguru being Brick Breaker or Protect was a tough decision for me. I either choose to not get walled by the Flyings in like a really fucked up endgame, or I get to save myself from Encore Trick Room on my own Parabolic Charges with Protect. But like, since my Bulldoze strategy means I wouldn't get rid of screens in time for Belly Bolt to attack, and both Vivillon and Hooray 4 times resist fighting anyway, Oranguru is not winning anything on its own, I just decided it wasn't worth it. I could have run Rock Slide, but I'm not doing that, and then like back to Belly Bolt. It's Muddy Water, because that's its only fucking coverage move. And I had Sucker Punch, I don't know that, and Hyper Voice. And then Terra Blast to like Terra Blast Grass hit right on super effectively, or just neutrally if it Terra Waters. I could have, there maybe was another Terra I could have done to also still be weak to ground, but And then, of course, the B tier support squad of Tinkaton, Magmar, and Overqwell, which can support both modes, and I hope we'll be able to bluff, like, mostly being fast, because 1, 2, 3, 4, and these are 4 fast guys, and support could be... I don't know. But both modes are centered around Magmar support. It doesn't have Eviolite. I said I wanted to run Magmar to see if it's better than Magmortar, and the answer is already leaning no, because I have Cloverclog on it and not Eviolite. This combined with Inner Focus on the Oranguru makes my Trick Room lead Fake Out Immune, which is, I love having a Fake Out Immune lead, it's my favorite thing. Vital Spirit will make Sleep Powder not work. Maybe it'll bite me in the long run, but I'll be able to tell. And hopefully, if like it gets Fake Out turn 1, and then I can redirect a Whirlwind or a Taunt Magmar's way if the Trick Room Fake Out. And for that reason, I want to lead into a Trick Room lead first, maybe unless I see Girafarig, because I don't want the Covert Cloak attack to be revealed through taking a bunch of damage before I even set up Trick Room. But like, unless I see Girafarig, we'll do that. I can roar out Girafarig, I just have to hope Magmar doesn't get taunted or killed before I can do that. It has Terra Water to live Basket Legion Wave Crash if like killing Magmar, if like Magmar dying would mean Oranguru getting Sleep Powdered or phased through Whirlwind, and it just seems, and like the secondary reason I have Protect on Oranguru is to make like the roaring out Girafarig work a little better. But I don't know, it has Helping Hand to help Como get the damage it needs, and maybe also Belly Bolt, who knows. Catch Tinkaton to like kind of force my way into squeezing more damage out of this. Fake Out when it can be awkward doesn't feel all that great here, but like knocking off Scarf from Vascular Legion or whatever item it has sounds good. And Baby Doll Eyes on whatever physical attacker to mitigate all of its modifiers that can bullshit also feels good. If the Scissor isn't Clam, I can mitigate its setup a little bit too. But it's mostly in here to keep in check any random Terra Fairies or Terra Fairy Deagling on her Aviary. And having knockoff over Playrough was kind of a tough choice, but I couldn't kill. Killing Sableye seems unlikely, so I didn't. It'll suck if I find out that I could have just run Play Rough and been way better. Then lastly, Overquill. Kind of the hardest to make anything for here, mirroring my complaints about it being only sort of halfway good. It needs Assault Vest to live stuff from Inteleon, and it was like an ensuing Braviary. So, but like, it was originally Swift Swim, but lowering Basculin's attack is more effective than running Scarf to counter it, and of course, maybe Rain doesn't come, maybe it's Gravity. But like, if I wanted to beat Vascular Legion always, I would have to make it be Scarf. I would have to make it be Scarf at a speed or at speed Swift Swim. I mean, it would always have to at speed Scarf, so it'd have to be 144. And like, I believe this is the speed tier that I have it at to outspeed. I guess no, it is outspeeding Vascular Legion always is still fine, even if. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, that's never mind. I'm not onto anything. Yeah, okay, I'm not onto anything. Disregard this. I didn't make a breakthrough. But basically, run dual stabs. If they hit Braviary, they hit. I mean, I don't know what else I would run. It doesn't have much coverage. The Poison Jab is here, but like Aqua Jet works. In case I this one at 1 because. Leaving something at 1, it seems likely for Braviary and like even Vascular Legion, especially if they have any bulk and don't Terra. And like I don't even know what to do for the last move, so I just picked Acid Sprays. Maybe I'll get the boost Como's damage, but I'd be surprised if that happens. But I'm happy with the squad. Like, what I'm hoping for is no Quash on Sableye. I'm hoping for no Taunt on Cora. I hope it screens. And like, I just don't want my Trick Room Destructed, and like Rhydon in the back, especially feels like a really solid adjustment to make after losing game 1, and Rhydon is just good enough in a vacuum, you could bring it anyway. Not really worried about the Imprisoned Girafarig. It can't do anything but Imprison Trick Room, and Tinkaton can Mold Breaker Fake at it. And I'm just hoping over Quill, Tinkaton, and Mag can just bluff the fast mode, so enough that I can get away with the Trick Room mode game 1, and then maybe Como can sweep game 2. But the TR and answers are strong enough such that I would have to adapt. I've done this enough. I'm gonna put this video together and I'm gonna work on my in-game team. I've done so much. Alright, here we are. My left monitor is buggy because I was just plugging it in. Yeah, I'm not happy to see it Rhydon. I'm not happy to see it in the second slot. But we'll do the same trick. We know what we have to do. Do this. The Vascular Legion is really funny. It means she's prepared for a Trick Room. Who do we want in the back for this? I guess we want Como. I think we want Como. So yeah, so we'll do the always lead, and we'll just kind of hope either Rhydon doesn't come or it's not like Terra Water, because if we can immediately Terra Grass it in the best of scenarios. Right, Sableye and Scizor. Nothing I haven't seen before. Let's watch a Fake Out. Let's watch the trick. Like what? Fake Out or Rain Dance or Gravity, or and then like SD on the Scizor is what I would imagine to happen here. Fake Out, yep. Trick worked. And Bug Bite. Now switch it out in Bulldoze. Wash. Fine. Bug Bite. Oh! It's Banded Scizor. That's not good. I'm Terra Grass. That's double not good. We're gonna get smoked, I think. That rain dance worked for me. 35. Accuracy drop is good. Accuracy drop is super good. Good. You'd live. I mean, if we hit both of these, it'll be a very big deal. The Bandit Scissor is very big trouble. Very big trouble and very big news. That's fine. Oh, it was room service. Ain't that something? Do parabolic charge here, and it should get a double kill. We Terra Grass here, I think, because what? Now you go faster, and then you do some other move, right? That works too. Oh, Muddy Water. I didn't expect that. And then the Clanging Scales here should win the game. Yep. Double Ghost. Fake out. No! Charge and double kill. Pretty good. Very surprising. No Ride-On is good for me. So what did I learn? What did I learn? I learned that it's Azor's Bandit, so the Trick Room plan won't work. I learned Belly Bolt is still good. Yeah. Alright, I think we go Tinkaton and whatever. I think Homo is still good. It's Quash and Rain Dance, and then I think we just go. We'll lead these two in the back. I think Overquill is definitely very strong, and I think Belly Bolt is still good. Belly Bolt still has a lot going for it. And then Sableye, Inteleon, yep. Fake out Clanging Scales. That's fine. Double fine. We're going to is what you do. It's Protect. I don't know if I die here. I don't know if it's Encore or not. We'll because what the play is Encore and then like Ice Beam. So I think we go into you and Protect. Well, no, because then I just get Encore into Protect. That was silly. Ice Beam, yep. And then this looks good. Gigaton hammering the Inteleon would have been a good play. This looks good. Aqua Jet into the U looks good. Not. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that was than I thought. And that missed. Expeditiously so. Jesus. You bug bit again? Crunch. Fake out. But let us not miss the fake out. Ooh. I mean, if you don't do the yep. Ball of Charge, Baby Doll Eyes. Or no, Protect and Baby Doll Eyes. Ah. Yeah, not Peridot. Ball of Charge, Baby Doll. Oh, that did a lot more than I thought. Never mind. That was silly of me. In a few ways, I had a flamethrower there. That was also a little silly of me. Yeah, because I bug bite, I get bug bit and die. Or not. Okay. Flaming scales, baby dollars. His flamethrower there was also the right move. Yeah. I mean, as long as I get to see what's in the back, I'm fine, but I don't think I will. And then it does ice beam damage. I guess we're fine. I guess just doing the same lead but with Magmar might be good. If we do the Trick Room thing, we should be okay. Because, like, what does the Sableye have? It has Fake Out, Taunt, and that's an unrevealed last. Fake Out, Quash, Taunt. Might not have Taunt or Encore. I think doing Trick Room again, but having Overquill is reasonable. We lead Overquill, we lead Trick Room. That feels reasonable to me. And then we can still have Belly Bolt in the back. And I don't know if we want Como. I think we don't want Como. I think we want Tinkaton. Yeah. Crunch. I don't. What is it? Nope, not gonna. Take out Trick Room. That is perfectly reasonable. That and Bulldoze. Do we Bulldoze here? We're faster. We can just knock off twice. I mean, you can Quash, I guess? No, that was a pretty good one. That was even better. Because then, yeah, now you get the Quash off and I fucking die like an idiot. So, yeah, that was bad. But I know what I should do here. I have to sack my own little dude to protect. Live this, please. Please live this. Good. And then we'll kill. Killing the Sableye should give me enough health to get something done. Oh. Parabolic charge, and we will crunch the U. And we'll crunch the U. And the parabolic charge should get it. Yep. All right, that was a close one. That was a very good game. All right. My gimmicks were sloppy, and I think I just was not prepared for Quash Belly Bolt enough, but Tinkaton's the GOAT. I don't Tinkaton for a living. Very good set. VTSDL is great. Yay!